Hello, I am Jennifer Thomas with AltonMo.com, and I'm here today with...
Grant Nelson.
And we're here about the new business in town, the Underground. And he has a lot of information. Would you like to share it with us?
Sure, absolutely. Just a little bit about myself. I moved here about 4 years ago from Arizona. I grew up on a farm, and I really love Alton as a town. And I've really felt like it's home to me almost. Since I moved in, I felt like people have been so nice to me, and I've really enjoyed it. As far as the new business, my personal concerns with it are the sex toys being sold in there, the pornography, of course. Those two things are the main thing. As far as the gambling goes, I don't think that's a good thing either. And also the drug products, marijuana, vapes, other things. To me, everything in there caters to addiction. And as a Christian, I personally would say, just from a moral perspective, I just don't agree with it as a business. As far as the products, personally, I wouldn't run a business doing that or selling those products. That's just my personal opinion on it. I think the whole thing caters to addiction. And that's part of the reason there's laws on sexually oriented businesses and dispensaries and other things. So as far as, some of the information, I know that AltonMo has filmed both of the prior city council meetings. I believe the one in November and the one in October. There's been a lot of information given by the city attorney, by individuals in the room. In the last meeting, one of the things that was said and really emphasized, and a lot of people were interrupting and over-speaking people to say this, was that the definition of a sexually oriented business only applies to fully nude establishments or establishments where there are sexual things going on. As far as that goes, the actual definition, as far as, from the Reviser MO, Missouri Reviser MO, which these are actually for the public to use in concerns just like this. That's the reason they're published. They update them annually. But as far as the actual definition, it does include an adult bookstore and adult video store in the definition of the law. It says specifically, an adult bookstore or adult video store means a commercial establishment which is one of its principal business activities, offers for sale or rental for any form of consideration any one or more of the following: books, magazines, periodicals, or other printed matter, photographs, films, motion pictures, video cassettes, compact discs, digital video discs, slides, or other visual representations, which are characterized by their emphasis upon the display of specified sexual activities or specified anatomical areas. A principal business activity exists where commercial establishment, and it has, them all listed. It does have the definition of substantial as 30%. As far as it goes, I haven't went in there and counted everything, but either has the city council when they issued the business license. And one of the things that they stated was that they were unaware that pornography was going to be sold in there. So for them to be unaware of that fact and then at the same time issue the license, and now they're being made aware of that fact, I think personally that's something that needs to be looked into. That's, just what the mayor said under oath.
Can the license be revoked?
I believe they can. And as far as it goes, that's their own jurisdiction on that. I believe they have the ability to do it. I think that needs to be looked into. The mayor said under oath, which when they're in those meetings, they are considered under oath, that they were unaware that that was going to be sold in there. Another concern that I have with it is based on the city's emails, there were concerns on the THCA marijuana products being sold in there. At the time that the license was approved on August 20th, the Executive Order 2410 was signed and set to take effect on September 1st. So it was signed and ready to go on September 1st when the license was issued, which that to me is an issue. Another thing that was said in the last meeting by the city attorney actually The city attorney said, as far as the DVD incident, where there were approximately 60 pornographic DVDs thrown on the public sidewalk, and multiple people were exposed to them, he said that the only crime that he could see there was potentially littering, which, to me, obviously, I mean, even like growing up, I know that you can't expose people to that type of stuff.
Right.
And if you look into the law, let me pull it up here. This is also under Statute 573, which obviously the city attorney should be familiar with the whole statute by now. But under 573.060, public display of explicit sexual material. And it's pretty clear to me. I'm not saying that this was committed. I'm not alleging that this needs to be looked into or anything. I'm not saying that any crime was done. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge or a prosecutor or anything like that. I'm just a member of the public reading the laws. So, a person commits the offense of public display of explicit sexual material, if he or she recklessly exposes, places, exhibits, or in any fashion displays explicit sexual material in any location, whether public or private, and in such a manner that it may be readily seen in its content or character distinguished by normal unaided vision as viewed from a street, highway, public sidewalk, or the property of others, or from any portion of the person's store, the exhibitor's store, or the property when items and material other than this material are offered for sale or rent to the public. So, I mean, that seems pretty straightforward to me. It seems like it was a reckless thing, and that's also an issue with the windows being see-through at night, because some people have told me they have seen pornography through the front window at night.
Yeah.
So that's another issue with that same part of the statute, which I haven't read that to the council or anyone, but and a lot of members of the public, even the local police, have told people that this only applies to fully nude establishments. So, I mean, to me, it's pretty clear in the law that it applies to other establishments as well. And if you look in the 67.2540, which is another statute, it seems to me like it applies to even more than just adult bookstore, adult video stores. But I haven't looked into that law as much because this seemed pretty straightforward. The other thing that the city attorney also stated was, he stated in the first town council meeting, I think it was back in October, that Statute 573 precludes municipalities from making those type of ordinances on these type of businesses. And as far as that goes, I just want to pull up the statute here. That's the 1,000-foot one from the library, is 573.531, which is obviously pretty blatant. If it qualifies as a sexually oriented business, it's right next to the library. But as far as let me find it here. Apologize.
Now, this is all found online. Is that correct?
Yes, right on revisor, mo.com, .gov. Yeah. It's straight from the government website, so you can find it here. I know I have it here. Apologize for not being more organized. Here it is. So, the city attorney stated that Statute 573 precludes municipalities from making these types of ordinances. He stated that exact fact, as far as the town council meeting back in October. Under Statute 573.540, it says there is no state preemption on regulation consistently with state law required for local law. And then it says nothing in sections 573.525 through 573.537, which the 1,000-foot rule is considered under, shall be construed as preempting or preventing, we'll let some of these go by, any political subdivision of this state from maintaining, enacting, or enforcing any local ordinance, rule, regulation, resolutions, or similar law concerning the regulation of sexually oriented businesses or similar adult-oriented businesses which is stricter than but not inconsistent with the provision of sections 573.525 to 573.537. So, as far as that goes, it doesn't even have to qualify as a sexually oriented business for the actual town council to pass an ordinance or address the public concerns. They are completely in their jurisdiction to pass any ordinance, rule, regulation, resolution, or a similar law concerning these businesses as strict or stricter than the state. They cannot be less strict than the state according to this, which is something that is important to note. They have to be at least as strict as the state, no less, and they can be stricter if they choose to do so. So they have complete jurisdiction to pull the permit if they wanted to. They have complete jurisdiction to pass an ordinance on local businesses or any resolution on the issue. I'm not saying they should do that. I'm not the town council. I'm just stating the facts of the law that they can, if they want to, they could close it. I mean, they have complete jurisdiction to do that. I'm not saying that I'm not them. You know, I'm just a member of the public that's concerned with it. But that was a concern to me, that the city attorney said that they cannot pass ordinances, you know, on these type of businesses, which is not true.
For a city attorney, he should know the city laws and what can and cannot be done.
Yeah, I agree, and this is a state law, but yes, I agree with that personally. You know, that's just some of the misinformation that I've heard, you know, at the meetings that I just felt was important to clear up. I felt it's important for the public to know the laws. As far as the exact statutes I quoted today, 573.010 is the definitions. 573.525 is the purpose and findings, the reason for the law. 573.531 is the 1,000-foot rule from basically land uses. It says sensitive land uses, so whatever they consider a sensitive land use. 573.537 is public nuisance law on it, and 573.540 is the ordinance one where they can pass laws and regulations on sexually oriented businesses. And many cities across Missouri have. I've looked into that as well, as far as cities like Springfield, St. Louis, some of the suburbs of St. Louis and other places have actually passed stricter ordinances because people didn't, you know, I mean, there was concern from the public and there was crime or other things brought in from these type of businesses. So the other thing, as far as the gambling goes in the state of Missouri, as far as I understand, based on the State Gaming Commission, all the gambling machines in the state are illegal unless they're outside of the state's regulated casinos. That's just my understanding of it. There's articles from the State Gaming Commission where they've confirmed that within the last few months, and you can actually report gambling machines to the State Gaming Commission online. So that's basically everything that I kind of wanted to talk about and clear up. Is, you know, as far as my opinions, like I said, personally I'm against it, but I also think that the law is important. I'm not saying they're breaking any laws. Like I said, I'm not a judge or a prosecutor or anything like that, but to me the law speaks for itself.
I would agree. So all these rulings that you just read to us, it does seem like this business is breaking more than one law at this point. The city council has that freedom then to act upon that, knowing that they are doing the right thing, upholding the laws. Would you agree?
I would agree, and I also think that the city council has to consider public opinion, you know, being their public officials that are voted into office. And if there's anyone in town that is concerned with the business for the future of the town, and they don't agree with it or things like that, I highly recommend coming to the city council meetings and speaking about it, because if people don't speak about it, then nothing's going to get done about it. That's just my opinion on it, and that's the way the world works. You have to say something or nothing will happen.
Again and again and again.
Yes, I agree, and I'll be speaking about it 2 or 3 years from now. If nothing's done, I'll speak at every town council meeting. I'll start in Genesis and I'll end in Revelation. You know, I mean, I'll speak until something's done about it, and I think other members of the public needs to speak as well, because I can't do it myself. I know the other people that have been addressing this business can't do it ourselves, and we just need public support. So I recommend coming to the town council meetings. If you don't want to speak, just come and sit. You know, the more presence, the better. So that's basically what I have to say about all that.
Here's one quick follow-up question. You gave us options of what the city council can do. Okay, it's in their jurisdiction, they can do this. If they do not act, like you said, a lot of the community is against this business. What choice does the community have?
I would say personally, you know, like I said, all you can really do is keep speaking and voting. You know, I mean, those are really the only two things you can do. As far as this goes, this is a criminal statute, so the law enforcement has to enforce it. The people cannot enforce it. As far as the local and county, obviously they're right next to each other. You know, if the state wanted to come in, they have to get jurisdiction from the county. So, you know, unless it was the Attorney General himself.
Come on, Bailey.
Yeah. You know, I mean, that's just what I would say on that. But basically, as far as citizens, you know, the only thing you can do is voice your opinion and vote, like I said, and, you know, anything peaceful. You know, that's all you can do.
One more question. Now, some people say that Alton is poor, okay? And they say that this business could bring in a lot of money through tax-paying dollars. You kind of expressed how you feel. Do you feel it's a great trade-off to have a business like this right here on the square, right by our pocket park in the library, at the expense of getting a lot more tax-paying dollars in that would probably go help the school system?
In my opinion on that, as far as it goes, I think the morals and values of the community can't be sold. I think the community needed to have known about this issue before it was put in. I also think that as far as the tax revenue goes, that's being taken from people that have addictions and put back into the city as tax revenue. It's going to the courthouse, it's going to the city hall. I think people would do a lot better with having that money in their individual pockets, personally. My opinion on it, from what I've seen in this aspect, is that the local government and the local politics like the people to be poor, they like the people to be drugged up, and they like the people to be powerless. And that's my opinion on it. They like more money going to the city hall and the courthouse and less in your pocket. That's my opinion on it.
And there you have it. Thank you very much.